The topics discussed and the information provided on this program is for general information. The hosts of this show are not medical professionals and are expressing their personal views and stories related to their individual lives. Their views are not intended to be used or taken as medical information. If you or a family member have suffered a traumatic brain injury, you should seek help from a practicing licensed physician.
We hope to help you. We want you to know that there's some life after the hurt.
Hi. You'd think after 3 years I'd be used to introing this show, or at least be prepared for it. And I am. Hi, I'm Matt Duffin. This is Brain Mechanics. I'm solo hosting these days and bringing on guests and more guests and more guests. Although now I got return. I'm keeping my last guest, I'm keeping him after class. I've asked Dave Lundquist to return, and the Lincoln High School almost alumni has. Just talk about teaching and life and things that he's seen and accomplished. And of course, we're always interested in war stories in World War II. My father was at Pearl Harbor. And as he always said, that was the easy one. So yeah, I got my purples and I got my crosses, but I went into 16 other battles, Matt. I got 17 battle stars. The last 16 I remember real well. We had fun, but everybody wants to remember Pearl Harbor. That ain't to where America lost most of their lives. And we still haven't faced a war such as World War II and our loss of lives. The Civil War was hard on the American population. We lost more people in Gettysburg than we did in the entire Vietnam War in 3 days. So as a warmongering country, we try to hold peace. In holding peace, we have school shootings, we have mass shootings, we have Kmart, Walmart shopping murders. There is no resistance. Only thus, the people, can resist, stop, and heal. It's all about being nice. Put a big smile on your face. Which I kind of had that attitude going into my brain injury. You can't hurt me, you can only have fun trying. Because I'm going to have a blast while you're trying. And I pass that on to my children. And my now grandson, Alistair, who shamefully, in my heart, won't have some of the teachers at Lincoln High School that I did. Might be a small Wayne County high school. Stay away from the stinking part. Because I'm a Lincoln High School graduate. I went to Actually, I'm a Milton sharpshooter, but the original Canal Town. And that's about my intro for this, Dave. I mean, I know we've been through a lot of discussions, and I'm
Sure.
Brain injured on the hump right now, kind of what was we talking about? Welcome to the world of brain injuries, people. But we are people, we can talk and we can communicate. You got to stay with us or stay away from us. Up to you, sir.
All right. I haven't lost my desire to write about sports. I never relearned to type after I lost my finger and became Jerry Garcia without the guitar or talent or money. And but I handwrite, and I've really discovered the joys of handwriting, penmanship, as it were. So I write my stories, I write letters, and I write it like this, but I think this story, if I'm going to publish anything that I would publish in, I don't know, 15 years maybe, that I published my last story, that this would be one worth publishing. I have a rough draft of it, and I'd like to get as much of it across, occasionally looking at my paper, even though the intensity, the feelings, the thoughts I had are still there. But I got to make sure they come to the surface and come through my speaking. All right.
Well, real quick, I found it's kind of
is that a teaser?
Strange that you're down back to handwriting because there was only typewriters in your day. There was no keyboarding. Sadly, I guess Joe Moody wasn't around still. He taught me how to type. To teach you how to type with a disabled hand. However, I worked for a master chief in the Navy that could type 108 words a minute, and he didn't have a pinky on his left finger, I think it was left. He just he couldn't do much else right in life.
I got to either be able to crimp my hand or make my other fingers do it. Huh? I'll see. I'll try. I got to try someday.
He just learned how he lost it when he was in the Navy, and it was amazing.
All right. All right, here goes. Here's a story I want to write. I want to perfect it, but I can get away with enough of it now, I think, because Matt's going to help me on the end here. Recently, I witnessed the most unusual baseball game I've ever watched. No one seemed particularly interested in the score. The batter, there was no hey batter fire from the benches. Coaches had not loaded the beginnings of the starting lineup with their own kids. Sorry, that's a bad scar with me.
Coaches like their kids to play.
That's why I'm a coach, and that's why I kicked you out.
Yeah.
Okay. The umpire. The umpire was. Oh boy, he broke a number of standard rules of baseball. He'd lose track of the pitch count. He called obviously foul balls fair. And one time he even interfered with the ball on the field of play. No one complained. No one raised a whisper. No Casey at the bat anger.
Time to field the ball.
Sure. This is no ordinary ball game. This is the Miracle League. Matt told you in the last time we were together that I stopped by. I was walking around Baker Park. It's one of my walking things when I saw the Miracle League. And I wasn't sure if other teams played there, but this was definitely Miracle League. So I came on in, asked right away, is Matt Duffin around? They say, well, he should be around for the next game. Oh, good, I'll wait. Meanwhile, I'm watching these games, what's happening in these games. And I'm seeing just completely different game than what you would normally expect. As they say, no one's concerned about the score. Whenever any kid, either team crosses the plate, the umpire gives them a high five. If some kid makes solid contact with the ball and it's 20 feet foul, so what? Fair ball. As far as the pitch count, kids would get 5 chances to hit a pitch ball. He lost track because he wanted every kid to hit the ball. There was one kid. I identified with this kid because of experiences I had. He held a baseball bat in one hand and they had the tee, like tee-ball. Put the ball on the tee, and he had just one hand that he could swing this bat and get the ball to dribble off the tee. As he's going to first base with his buddy, the umpire goes out and kicks the ball into the field so that kids in the field have a chance to pick up the ball. This was not a contest. This was a game. This was a game. Whew.
People having fun playing baseball.
I want reason I'm turning this over to Matt is Matt is much more accomplished, knowledgeable about baseball than I am, even though I cheered for a long time for the Cubs and watched them free for a number of years on WGN. But his father particularly, he mentioned in the last time, or did we finish, you mentioned talking about that, about mentioning something about your father? Did you say, or was that, never mind.
Everybody knew he was a baseball guy around here.
Yeah, he was. I mean, we didn't try to add up all the years that he did it. Matt had 2 older brothers that went through the training of Woody Duffin. Matt, when he was 3 years old, was in the dugout. When he was 4 years old, he was a bat boy. When he was 5 years old, he was learning how to he kept the book. Now, that's being immersed in that, since his dad was so serious about baseball. Now, he wasn't a hard-driving guy. He wasn't, from everything Matt's told me, it was really pretty simple lesson. No Bob Knight stuff, all right? But he knew every position. Matt could play every position, all right? Had experience. His dad wanted him to learn all. That, okay, it's not just catching the ball and throwing the ball. It's being able to know where to throw it, when to throw it, what to look for. Wow, wow. If you were raised like that, and gently, and you loved it, you would stay with it. Matt played, what would you call, Pee Wee League, Little League, Babe Ruth, Lincoln High School varsity, played on the American Legion, played on softball team for his unit in the Navy. He's played a lot of baseball, and a lot of it was under the tutelage of his father.
When I umpired Little League, when I got older.
I forgot that, yeah.
He used to just come to watch me umpire the Little League games just to be around the ball game.
Yeah, oh boy, tremendous fan. And everybody knew it.
Have a hot dog.
I think when Matt told me this the other day, this struck me so much that, wow, what insight, what a lesson to pass on to your kid.
When he came, when I was coming off the field.
11 years ago, Matt had his bad accident. 8 years ago, he started with the Miracle League. His dad couldn't see the first game or two, but his dad finally came to one of the games and saw what it was like. And he should remember some of the things, with not keeping track of the outs, the score, everybody gets around the bases, everybody hits, all this stuff. Okay, so Matt's just played a game like this in front of his father, an expert in baseball. I want Matt to tell you, in pretty close to his father's words, what his father said to him as Matt was coming off the field of the first Miracle League game Woody Duffin had ever seen.
Well, we'd played a couple innings, and of course I pitched. And I came in from the field the second inning, and he said, "Matt, I want you to come here and sit down." And I thought to myself, I've been hanging on the ball diamond with you over 50 years. It's been a long time since you told me to come here and sit down and listen. So he did that. I went and sit down. That's a Duffin way of get your butt down, so I went and sit. He looked at me, and he loved his tobacco, so he spit, of course. He said, "I want you to know something." I said, "What's that?" He said, I think you finally found it. In fact, you finally found it. I said, I finally found what? He said, baseball. I said, I've been on the diamond my whole life, Dad. I've always found baseball. He said, no. He said, the only person that saw more games than me might have been your Uncle Abner. Talking about Abner Doubleday. He said he might be the only person that saw more games than I have in life. He said, but you finally found it. Guys are out here, it's warm, it's hot, families are watching, everybody's having their drinks. They're having fun, they're helping each other, they're hitting the ball, they don't care about this, they don't care about outs, they just want everybody to bat. And they come in and they sit down and they do it and cheer for the other team while they're doing it. He said, everybody's having fun. This is a Saturday afternoon at the ballpark. Families, picnics, this is fun. This is what Admirable Doubleday always meant this game to be like, and we lost it. He said, that's what I wanted you to know. You finally found it. I told him, well, after 54 years, I better have found it. But, yeah, Dad and I spent a lot of time on the diamond together, and I would believe everything he would ever tell me anyway, kind of.
But this was why this was a game, not a contest.
No, it's not a contest.
It wasn't a contest. See, the game.
We all
I understand. Games are invented to show your ability and everything like that. Okay, but don't forget the fun. Don't forget the fun.
Yeah, you know, we use harder balls for people that want to hit a harder ball, and softer balls for people that struggle with it. I've adjusted my pitching career to where I just walk up and I want people to hit the ball off a person. That's what people want to do in baseball.
Sure.
So I work on hitting the bat. I was always good at that my whole life anyway. But, you know, I want them to hit the ball. And they have so much. You should see the faces light up when people, you know, they got a hit. Or I had a group of autistic kids a few years ago I coached, and this one kid dug in. I'd have to reteach him every day how to get down for a ball, how to prepare for it, the whole game situation, you know, just work with him. I was a baseball buddy, if you will. And he had it all down, and he was up there swinging, learning. And he hit a pitch out into left field. And he just looked at me. I said, well, you got to run now. He said, oh. He took off running. He was so happy, so happy. Been playing for 3 years up there. Nobody ever really taught him how to hit a ball. And that's when I started realizing. Of course, I've been in this game, like you say, for the last 11 years, and I've studied hard. You know, he just needed kindness and help, and understand what he's trying. He's trying to hit the ball. He's not saying, "Hey, dig in there." Well, all you mean is get out, think about it. Then, no. Get in the box, get yourself ready with the bat, and hit the ball. Swing the bat at the ball. And kids seem to like me around the ballpark. I have fun with them.
I can't imagine.
Well, you know, all kinds of mental issues this league has. Physical that comes with it. They're all people. They're all human beings. They all can think. Most of them is like you. They can think about what they was taught. Some of us go beyond thinking about what we was taught, and that's when you become an instructor. But you got a lot of that from what? You went to Olivet Nazarene College?
Yes, in Kankakee, Illinois. A lot of K's in Kankakee.
Yeah, I've been up there before.
That's what I heard one coach say at a gathering.
Kankakee. I think the Roosters might have played up there before. I don't know.
I think so.
That's taking me back to my baseball.
Casey Stengel played on a field that was close to a mental facility out north of town.
Okay.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. And people would say, Stengel, someday you're going to be in that place there. So that was, I think it was Moments or Mantino. Anyway, go ahead.
When the Reds,
I diverge.
When the Reds were here playing years ago, back when they stormed barns and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Ted Gugluski had hit a home run over the right field wall at Municipal Stadium. Now Don McBride, John Catefield, whatever, in Richmond. And the next year we was playing Legion up there. And my buddy Brian Gowker, he'd hit one just about in the same area. Not quite as deep into the trees, but he was coming in, and his dad, Frank, he said, "Boy, you almost got where Ted hit the ball, not quite." I'm thinking, man, he hit a nice, great shot home run, Frank. Get off his butt. But, you know, again, some people are raised and taught different, and
Sure.
Frank was a great guy, and Brian was a great athlete. He's an okay guy. But I'm kidding.
He had some good teammates.
I do.
Yeah, you did, and he did. Yeah, different sports.
Oh. He ended up being our quarterback. Dude, you don't even play football. But he did.
Mm-hmm.
And was a great quarterback.
He was a point guard in basketball, and he was a pitcher in baseball. You know, a leader in all three positions. If you think about
We
it.
called him more of a shooter in basketball, but sure.
My turn.
No, Brian, he was a great friend of mine. I'm joking about all of it. He's a great individual, great human being. Hello, Mrs. Gowker. I'm not talking about your son, of course.
Hope you're watching.
She probably is. Oh. So you got some things you want to touch back on? We're running out short of time, and
That's okay.
I know you wanted to cover some jot down you got.
Well, I think I got most of that. So, one thing that I'd like to get into. I'm guessing that even though Matt's memory is faulty, that he will remember some athletic things, that events or stories that we both covered when we were writing sports. I wrote for 3 different papers over the years, and so I'd bumped into him whenever I was doing anything about Lincoln. So that's pretty nice, you know, and we can go over that. And a lot of the stories you hear about, like what the coaches have done, make you, you kind of got to be careful. Don't say them, you know. But there are some other good stories too. So
3 minutes.
We'll come up with that. All right? 3, now down to 2. All right. Okay, let's.
We have editing positions in this show to do anyway. Go ahead. Complete your story, and probably got time to go another one if you hurry.
Oh, I didn't have a story. Here's one of the things from. Okay, I played high school basketball. I played for a big suburban all-white high school. We had, I think, a 16-10 record, so we were okay. We were a little bit better than what people predicted. But our coach, you know, did not really mince words. He wasn't, you know, like, but I'll never forget during a film session. All right, my senior year, I realized my dream, and I was the starting right wing. We played a 1-3-1 offense. Jerry Matulis, 6'6", he was the low post man. He gets a college scholarship. Neil Hoder, 6'4", he's high post. He's really, really good. The other guy on the left wing is Skip Sullivan, who averages in double figures, and then a point guard. I barely make the starting lineup, all right? In one game, at the film thing, the coach actually said that, no, he said it to us, just us. He says, you know, I have one guy shooting 33% from the field, and he shoots 5 of 13. I have another guy who shoots 57%, you know, and he gets just 8 shots. Gotcha, coach. I'll stop shooting. Here's the ball, Jerry. Go score. And he did. He was good.
So then you won your other 15 games.
No. Yeah, from then on. The magic appeared.
I remember you sharing those stories when you first got to Lincoln, because
They were current with me, yeah.
Yeah, predominantly white community.
Mm-hmm.
And you came from a black school that you taught at.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I had a great interest at Lincoln High School amongst the student population I was running with. We hadn't. This was great.
Yeah,
We
I
hadn't
told you. I
shared.
told you sub stories. I had a year of substitute teaching stories, and some of them were pretty interesting. Could be dangerous. Ends up being funny. These years later, 50 years later. Okay,
Well,
wrap it up.
yeah. Well, we'll have to wrap it up. So they tell me. I'm just sitting here in awe, man. My buddy, my teacher, my mentor. Throughout it all, he's done a lot for me. And just not constant communication, but whenever we need communication.
Sure, sure. These last few days have just been unbelievable. Between the Miracle League and your rehab and your father's stories and then the baseball thing. Wow. I mean, we covered all of those. We condensed it to this.
Say there's an encyclopedia of stories in this mind right now. Everybody says you need to write. Excuse me? Where do I start?
I find things to write about.
All right. Well, Dave, it's been great having you, and I'll
Thanks
probably
again,
see
Matt.
if have you again. This is Brain Mechanics. We'll be back next month for another episode of Brain Mechanics. Let me slide that in one more time, Deborah Berry. She named the show Brain Mechanics.
The topics discussed and the information provided on this program is for general information. The hosts of this show are not medical professionals and are expressing their personal views and stories related to their individual lives. Their views are not intended to be used or taken as medical information. If you or a family member have suffered a traumatic brain injury, you should seek help from a practicing licensed physician.